In this video, I'm going to go over weight distribution with your LDRC Drift Car and where you might want to add some weight to kind of help the performance and balance everything out. So you can experiment with weight in the front and in the rear. I've been trying a couple weights in the front just to see how it performs, to kind of help keep these front wheels planted a little bit and to keep the front, like the wheels down and nice and firm on the ground. You got to be careful though, if you go too much weight can actually be bad to where you're getting too much grip in the front and you don't have enough grip in the back and it's easy to spin out. So right now 2 weights is not actually too bad. I might go back to testing 1 weight again and just seeing how it is, and also I might test no weights and just kind of figure out what I like. Just play around with the weight up here and see what you like. These are tungsten weights, and they each one of these weighs about 14 grams. So together they're probably about 28 grams roughly. So I get these online from Amazon and stuff. I'll see if there's any other places to get them that are cheaper, because Amazon's a little bit pricey. So if I can get a link or something, I'll put it down in the description. But maybe I'll find some cheaper ones at some other sites, and if I do, I'll put them down in the description when I can. But these are from the Pinewood Derby little wood cars that people build, that they race, whatever. They put these inside their little wooden cars for the racing, and these are actually great for RC cars. You can just double-sided tape them and certain areas, and they come in different sizes. Like this is the biggest one they have, the 14 gram, and then the half size is like 7 grams, and it keeps going down to where it's like a quarter size, or it's like 3.5 grams or so, and then the smallest one is about 1.75 grams roughly, somewhere between 1.5 grams and 2 grams. So if you need a little bit of weight, you can use a bunch of these, and obviously if you need to just work your way up little increments and just play around with the amount that you need in certain areas. Now the rear end also might be a good place you want to test putting some weight on. Like I tried it a couple weights back here to help give a little bit more grip in the rear end as well and keep it down, and just try to keep it from the rear end from sliding out too easy. So the reason why I don't really run it back here anymore is because the one issue, or one of the issues I found with the LDRC, is that there's all this weight on this side of the car from the motor, and there's nothing on the other side of the car to counter that weight. So it's very heavy on the right side of the car here. So what I did is I put a few of these weights on this side to counter the weight of the motor. So if you're ever drifting these things and it seems like the car drifts really good one way but doesn't drift good the other way, it's probably because the weight distribution is off, to where one half of the car is heavier than the other half. So obviously we can't take away the motor to balance out the weight, so you have to add weight on the opposite side of the motor to balance the car out to be even. And I put 3 of them over here. That might be a little bit overkill, so 2 weights might be good enough. I can probably just take away a 3rd one, but I don't know. I gotta like take the motor out and weigh it to see how much it weighs to really know for sure. I'm kind of just guessing right now, so I put 3 there. But when I swap out the gearbox and the gears and stuff, I will possibly weigh the motor to see how heavy it is, and then figure out how many of these weights I'll need to counter, to counter the weight on the other side of the car there. And that's why I don't really need to run any weight back here, because that's a lot of weight for pretty much the back end of the car now, to where I don't need to throw any weight back here. Sometimes having the weight behind the wheels can really help out when it comes to drifting and throwing the back end around. But I mean, it's already heavy enough right here. I don't even mess with that. And you can only put like weights like right here. If you put them here, it's going to be in the way of the body when you mount the body back on. So there's really only a few spots you can mount it here or here or whatever, but that's about it. And this is close enough to the back to where I don't need any more weight towards the rear end, and it drifts pretty good right now the way it is. So I'm happy with this setup, but I'll keep experimenting too and just seeing what works and what doesn't. Mainly the front end I need to keep testing to see what I like the most, if it's going to be 1 weight or 2 weights or even no weights. So if you're adding any weight to the car, just keep all this in mind. The rear end and the front end, and then just really just test everything out and just see what you like. If you don't have any of these weights, you can just find other things that you might have around the house, or if you have any other type of weights, like fishing weights or whatever, anything that's got some good heavy you know, density to it is good to try out. Just double-sided tape in the area that you have space. If it is, you know, as long as it's small enough to fit there without interfering with the body or anything of the car, then it should be fine. It, you know, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to look pretty. Just as long as you get the performance you want out of the weights, then that's all you really need. So yeah, that's all you really need to know about weight distribution. Just as long as the car is balanced on both sides, so if you can like balance it on your finger and it doesn't lean left or right, then it's pretty much good, which I can't really show you right here in front of the camera. But to me, when I've pretty much balanced it on my finger and it seems like it's even enough, or at least mostly even. Later on, like I said, I'll weigh this motor and see exactly how much it weighs to see how much I need to counter it over here. So that's all there is to mounting weights to the LDRC. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.